Welcome to the Talking Single podcast, a podcast featuring 4 strong, single and successful women, raised in Lagos, now living in London. Each week, we share our stories and experiences about being women navigating life, love and everything in between. We address stereotypes, misconceptions and even bust some myths about singlehood. Oh, and we do all of that with a good dose of humour and a whole lot of style. I'm Rasheeda, single and ready to mingle, and I'll be this week's host. Joining me are the other talking single ladies, Crystal, the recovering love addict, now happily single, Keysha, the consciously uncoupled unromantic, wondering what the fuss is all about, Ribi, the cautious romantic, balancing life on her own terms. Our podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome. This is your girl Rasheeda and I'm here with my homegirls Ribi, Crystal and Keysha. Hello girls, how are you?
Hey.
Good.
Hey.
How have you guys been? How's the week? Did anything fun happen this week?
Not really. It's just been a very long week.
No.
I'm trying to think.
No.
I can't really think of anything that's happened this week.
Oh well, I'll tell you about my own week. I think this week I've had the most number of mini meltdowns in my life. At some point during different days during the week, I had to send different SOSs to people to actually ask for pep talks because I was literally on a ledge about to jump off.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But
Wow.
thankfully, I think I'm off that ledge. The crisis is over and all is right with the world today.
Yay.
Thank God. Yeah. Thank you to
You made
everyone
it.
that sent me pep talks, called me, sent voice notes and sang to me. So thank you all. Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. Yeah. Well. Anyway, to today's topic. As you guys all know, I've said it over and over again. I'm single. I'm ready to mingle. I've reopened myself to the exciting, crazy world of dating. So to start this, I set profiles on Hinge and Match.com. Please don't ask me how that's going. I know there are a few people that will be judging me. Crystal.
What?
Yeah.
Stop bad mouthing me.
It's not bad mouthing. No, it's not bad mouthing. But I know you've been very consistent asking how my online dating.
And how is that judging? I'm being a good friend.
No, it's not
paid
judging.
money.
Okay, ladies, to your corners, please. To your corners.
You didn't do the free version.
No,
You're
I thought if I paid, then that would hurt and it would mean I would actually take it seriously. However, through some soul searching, I've realized I'm lazy when it comes to online dating. And contrary to my actual desire burning in my belly to date, I've actually found online dating tedious and I think I need to do better. So
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So I think I need to do better, yeah.
But can I just say, nobody ever said online dating was going to be easy, quick, or without effort.
Yeah.
I know, but this is like having a second job.
It is, literally. It
like
is.
having a second job. And some of the matches, when you hear what, you're just like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
And as, I guess, I don't even know, because my profile, not like I don't even remember what I put on Match.com, but I've been consistently getting this like 50, 60, 70-year-old uncles in suits asking, and I'm like, what about these pictures? Do you know what? Maybe we need to go as a group, go through my online dating profile. Maybe that's something we should do.
So we can have a whole episode on this, but I can already tell some of the things why they're not working. But we will do that on a separate topic. Let's move on.
Thank you, my love. Oh, my online dating life is about to get lit. Thank you, Ribi. Anyway, today I will be talking about matchmaking in general and matchmaking as an alternative way to find love, the good, the bad, the ugly sides of matchmaking. So, ladies, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, good. So, I mean, we all live in this world where the possibility of making connections with people by making that eye contact across a platform or across a party and smiling, all of those are practically non-existent because everybody wears a mask anyway. So it's almost impossible to smile at that cute stranger. And I guess someone said you smile with your eyes, but I'm not sure about you guys. For me, I just blink uncontrollably, like I've got conjunctivitis. So I don't know how we're supposed to do that. And I guess we're all aware, most people, just as I said, have, like I did as well, we moved to online dating. But even before the pandemic, I believe I was one of those that somewhat struggled with it, to kind of go through the motions of finding matches, talking to people, being engaging, trying the pressure to be witty and funny and engaging and all of those things was just a lot for me. And I don't think I did too well on it. And it just got me thinking, professional matchmaking services could very well be my refuge or anybody else's refuge if they so wish. And it could be an efficient way for me to date, where I felt like, or I don't know if you guys feel it, like for me, I feel like online dating sometimes is impersonal. You're just scrolling through people's pictures. Whereas with a professional matchmaker, there's someone there, you're talking through the matches, there's a human connection to kind of bridge this initial searching and thralling process. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I guess let me throw it out to Keysha. Keysha, what do you think about matchmaking? Are you open to being matchmade?
So I don't mind it because I think there are, it's just another opportunity to meet more people. And if it works out, then that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think as in with matchmaking, what do you think it should be like? Do you have to, is it a big, serious task that you have to do, or you just take it easy?
I find it a very easy thing because I'm not the one doing the work. All that's happening is somebody will get my number, or I'll be given somebody's number, which is even better because I get to choose if I call, or I'll get somebody will call me and we'll have conversations. And I think with a couple of conversations, it's very easy to know if things are going to work or not. And if you do have conversations in this way, I think it actually makes it easier to either keep things going, as in if it works out, or cut things off if it doesn't work out, because it's all on the phone, or you can choose to meet if things are working. So I actually really like the idea of being match made by other people rather than me having to sort of put the effort in myself. I think it's brilliant.
Okay, so notes to everyone else. Once you find any single person that's a man, you just send Keysha's way. Deal?
Yeah. There's just not that many of them out there.
You'll be shocked.
Just remember that Keysha likes them with broad shoulders.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
right.
dependable like Volvos.
That's right.
Yeah, cool. There's this other thing as well. I guess maybe it's not a shame or like a reluctance to actually, well, maybe in younger days, I don't know if you guys think it, a reluctance to actually accept being match-made or even consider the thought of using a professional matchmaker. Do you think there is it anything to be ashamed of? Do you think there's a stigma associated with this, or with getting your aunties or your friends to matchmake you?
I don't think so. No, I don't. I definitely don't think anyone should be ashamed of being match-made. I have 2 friends who were match-made by other friends, other family, and they're happily married now. So
did they ask for the matches, or were they just volunteered?
No, someone just saw them and was like, "Oh, is that person single? Oh, would they be open to meet someone I know who's also single? I think they would make a good match." And they met and it worked out. And there's some couples you're like, but actually no, it's going really well. So yeah, I don't think there's a stigma. There should be a stigma attached to it. I don't know anyone who's hired a professional, and I haven't. But if I found a professional who was guaranteed to find me a husband, 100% guaranteed, with a beard and a good attitude, I would definitely hire a professional.
Okay.
If I could afford one.
I think I know people who've been match-made, and I think when it works, it really, really works well, because you might meet people out of your own social sphere. You might meet people that you would just never have met otherwise. So it really does open the dating pool for you. So I don't think there's a stigma attached to it. I mean, I know quite a few people who sort of are in relationships or got married through matchmaking. Although I don't know anyone who use professional matchmaking services, that I don't know anything about. But when it comes to family and friends hooking you up with someone, or, you know, I think that really works well. I don't think there's a stigma for it.
I don't know whether it's a stigma. Maybe stigma is not the word. And I think when it's your friends or family that are doing the matchmaking, I think that's kind of that's known and comfortable. But the idea of paying someone to find someone for you, I don't know that there is a stigma, but there is probably this thing about, so you can't find someone for yourself, you have to pay someone, you know, is it that bad? You know, is something wrong with you? I think those probably are the questions that certainly would be at the back of my head if I was thinking about it. Okay, does that mean that there's something wrong with me? Am I not able to find somebody on my own kind of qualities? I don't believe there should be a stigma attached to it. I don't think there's anything wrong in it if you can afford it and the person that's doing the matchmaking is professional. But I do know that those kind of thoughts will exist. That's probably why we don't know anybody that has done it.
But also, isn't that just like online dating as well? I mean, the attitude to online dating has changed within the last 10 years. But also, online dating at some point, you'd be like, well, is it that you cannot meet a man at work or with your friends or on the bus, at the bus stop or the station? Now you have to go on the internet and pay these apps.
No, you're right. And to be honest, I have friends, when I tell them I am on dating online, they look at me like, why are you doing that? I could never go online dating. I'm like, well, different strokes for different folks. And they say, oh, can you not find somebody at work? And I'm like, no, I can't. Can you not find somebody at church? No, I can't. So where else am I going to go? You know, I think not. What I like about online dating is that you are taking your relationship into your own hands. You're not leaving it to circumstance to happen. And if you approach it with and actually then going to a professional should be no different, actually. There's nothing wrong with it. You're taking your relationship into your own hands. Doesn't mean you're desperate. You know, it doesn't mean anything like that. It just means you know what you're looking for and you are exploring how you find it. That's it.
I think the times have definitely changed, because I remember a few friends who met people online and they would literally lie and be like, oh, I was just shopping and he came up to me and then when it didn't work out, I'll be like, so what happened? You know, when the guy ghosted them, then we didn't have the term ghosting. It would be like, actually I met him online, so I don't know how to find him. So yeah, but yeah, things have changed so much. Like no one is afraid to say, hey, I met him online. It's a thing, which is good.
Yeah, we've come a long way when it comes to that. Like everybody, there's no more. It's not weird to say you met somebody online or you met somebody via a dating app anymore. It's pretty normal.
Yeah. So have you guys ever been match-made no, actually, I take that back. We've all had those matchmaking things. Is there anyone that wants to share like a juicy story of being match-made?
I can share a very embarrassing story of being match-made unknowingly.
Embarrassing for you or
for me, and probably for the guy as well. Because in this case, well, as far as I could read, neither of us knew we were being match-made. So this is my sister, my own blood, and her best friend, which is the guy's cousin. So it was my sister's best friend's birthday, and we had obviously Niger party, we'd all dressed up and everything. And I think my sister and her best friend said, oh, these are two single people that are left in our sphere. And obviously, that one is a man, this one is a woman. Let us match make them. Fine. It would have probably been better if they had said, ooh, this guy, this girl, you know, do you guys want to have a coffee or something? No, they didn't do that. Instead, they came up with this weird scenario where my sister, I live very close to my sister's friend, maybe about 15 minutes from her. So my sister goes, oh, can you go to her house? Can you call her? I want her to drop something off with you that you can bring to me when you see me at the weekend. And I thought, okay, no problem. And so I call her and I say, yeah, I'm supposed to pick up something from you. She says, oh, I can't meet you, but I'll send someone to drop it off for you. Meet the person somewhere. I can't remember what I think it was a cafe or something like that. I was supposed to meet to pick up this thing.
I'm laughing already.
Oh gosh. So I was like, okay, I will meet the person there. And you know, I was not really thinking about it. What I thought when she said meet the person there, I actually thought it was one of her kids or something like that. So I wasn't like making any effort. I was in my tattiest sweatsuit. Is that the right word? Yeah, sweater and track bottoms.
You're fancy. You're wearing sweatsuits. Some people wear leggings and like t-shirts with a.
My hair was in a scarf. You know, there was no makeup on my face. You know, I was wearing it was in January, so I was wearing my Ugg boots. So I was just looking wretched because I was just like, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna pick up a parcel and I'm going to go. So I get to this place, and I'm looking for, you know, my sister's friends.
But there was child
or something. I got there and I saw this guy with this parcel, and I'm like, I dismissed him completely. I'm like, what is this weirdo doing here in the morning at this time? And then my phone rings, and then the guy opens his mouth and he speaks that I'm here to drop off a parcel. I don't know what you look like, and And I'm like, I see the guy, and the guy sees me, and two thoughts come to my mind. And I'm like, what the fuck? And two, I am dressed like crap.
Was he cute?
No.
Oh.
He was not cute. He did not sound cute.
Okay.
And I was just not happy about how I was looking. I collected the parcel and I left. The guy did call me afterwards to say, oh, it was really nice meeting you. But you know my one pet peeve about guys and when they speak, you know what it is? H factor.
Is You're such a Georgia.
I cannot do H factor.
Yeah. I completely
I can't. But anyway, that was the attempt. So when I got back and I called my sister, were you trying to matchmake? She was like, well, we kind of thought it was a good idea. I said, well, it would have been nice if you had told the guy, told us so that we knew what was happening, so we could have at least made some kind of effort.
No, so weird.
Yeah.
But that was just, he did, bless him, he did try to call a few times later, and I thought that was incredibly brave because I know I was not looking good at all. But I'm sorry, that was the beginning and the end of that.
You man crusher, you crushed the pole. He probably wore his best suit.
I can't even remember what he wore.
And a cummerbund and a boat.
Oh my God.
The H factor just killed it for me. Plus the fact I wasn't looking good.
Your sister didn't do any of you favors. Both of you didn't win in that particular scenario. There were no winners.
I was the one that looked like I don't know what to... Let's move on, please. It's a very horrible, scarring experience.
Okay.
Scarring.
Yeah. So I have a story. Mm-hmm. And I think the title of the story is The Chocolate Factory Worker / Illegal Immigrant.
Okay.
Yeah. So one day, I was sitting at work, and next thing my auntie calls me, Rasheeda, I've given somebody your number. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, auntie, no need to do it. She's like, don't worry, I've given somebody your number. And he's her friend, brothers, cousins, nephews, neighbors, brothers, postman, kind of some random long thing. So I was like, okay, fine. she's giving the number, letting up be said that Rasheeda is picky, because I think that's what my aunties generally believe. Rasheeda is picky. Rasheeda will not talk to men and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and it was a weekday. I think it was like a Wednesday afternoon. I sat down, I was at my desk, and like 2 o'clock, just after lunchtime, somebody texted me, "Hi, my name is Joe," for argument, yeah. Your auntie gave me your number. Can you talk? And I was like, "Hi, Joe. She did tell me, but I can't really talk now because I'm at my desk. I'll call you at 5 when I get off work." And he was like, "Oh, sorry, no, I'm at work. And I don't know if you'll be awake by the time I get off work." And I was like, what kind of job does he do that I'll be asleep when he's done with work? In my mind, I was like, maybe he's like this really senior MD in one fancy place, so he has to work long hours with the US and la la la. So that's what I was thinking in my mind, but moved on. So the next day, he then called me and we spoke. As soon as I said hello and he was like, hello, I knew it was a no. But yeah, I knew it was a no. Just as you said, the enunciation and H factor and the Nigerianness. Actually, no, I like Nigerian men, but there's just this thing that I couldn't get past. So we start talking, and I kept on convincing myself, like, okay, Rasheeda, just keep an open mind. So I then asked, okay, so what do you do? La 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 la. And he was like, well, I work in a chocolate factory. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. What do you do in the chocolate factory? And he's like, I operate the machine. I'm like, what does that mean? So I think he's one of those guys. I don't know what it was exactly. I was like, okay, how long have you done this job? He's like, 4 years. I'm like, okay. What did you do before this? He was like, not a lot. I was doing bicycle courier, like the Deliveroo kind of thing. I was like, okay. To be honest, my first instinct at that time was no. But I was like, okay, keep an open mind, because you do a 9 to 5 doesn't necessarily mean you have to date somebody that does 9 to 5. People that do like other jobs or in other industries are worthy of love. Just keep an open mind. So I kept on talking to myself, and we spoke for about 5-10 minutes, but it was hard to keep the conversation going because he could not speak properly. His tenses were bad. His grammar was terrible. And I was just like, oh my God. So I needed an out of the conversation. So I was like, well, I'm going on holiday. I was going on holiday, I think a few days after that. So I was going to Italy. I was like, well, I'm going on holiday, and I guess I'll talk to you when I come back. And for whatever reason, I just asked him, so do you like going on holidays? When did you go to Nigeria last? And his response was, you know why I haven't been to Nigeria? I'm like, I don't get. He's like, yeah, you know why? I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know why. And next thing is like, well, I haven't been to Nigeria in the last 8 years because I cannot travel. I'm like, okay. And his next response was, I'm not talking to you because of papers. I've tried to get a few women to help me, but they duped me. I just want to marry and have children. Nah. And I was just like, no. In the same sentence where I just literally met you 10 minutes ago, you're telling me you don't have papers, you haven't traveled, you've tried to marry 2 women before, but they duped you. And then in the same breath, you're telling me you want to marry and have children. No, thank you. So I just excused myself from the conversation. I'm like, oh, thank you. Well, I'll call you back shortly. And I hang up. I called my auntie there and then to ask, did she know whether this guy was, what the guy's legal status here was? And she was like, yeah, she knew he had problems with his paper, but she just met him a few times and she thought he was a nice guy and she thought we would get along. And I was like, but I've never been an illegal immigrant here. And why should someone in their, sorry to say, right frame of mind think it's okay to introduce me to an illegal immigrant without even telling me?
She thought love would conquer all.
Oh, I'm not
It didn't come
I'm
from a
not
bad
Jennifer
place.
Aniston in one of those rom-coms. No.
She thought,
And
no, I was in shock. Sorry,
no,
honey.
no. Let me give you the icing on the cake.
Oh, wow,
So
there's
when I was
icing.
talking to my auntie, we talked for about 10 minutes. And remember, I told the guy that, look, I'll call you back in 5 minutes, because that was my way of getting out of the conversation. The brother then decided to send me a message. I knew you were not going to call back. You sound like all those proud London girls. You have no integrity because we cannot hold you to your word because you had an illegal immigrant. You've decided to just cut me off without knowing me. I'm a good guy.
Wow.
I was just like, what the hell? I screamed onto the message and I sent it back to my auntie and I blocked him. And I just told my auntie, I know you love me, but thank you, but I don't think I'm open to any sort of introductions again. And
Wow.
yeah, and I was like, what the hell?
And that was his brother, by the way. So that is random.
So my auntie is one of those random things. I bet she probably went to a party and just saw some guy there, and she asked her, who is that guy? Oh, his name is Joe. He's single. Oh, my niece is a girl. She's single. And in, I guess, just like in the example I've just given and the one Ribi said a few minutes ago, I guess it's clear that many Nigerian aunties or African aunties or even friends have good ideas or have the best intentions, but they hit wrong spots. All they know is X is a woman, she's single, looking for a man. Y is a man, single and looking for a woman. Let them meet, let them date. And I guess that's, for me, certainly that's what's caused the fatigue in being open to matchmaking my friends. I don't know, do you guys, when your friends say, oh, Ribi, I know somebody, do you want a number? Do you always say yes or no?
Funny enough, I don't have any friends that say that to me. If I tell my friends, if you know somebody that meets my spec, send him across. Nobody's done that, probably because they don't want to be responsible for yawa if it doesn't work. But typically, it's been a long time since friends have tried to matchmake me. But I'm with you. I'm actually quite wary of it because you then feel the additional pressure to make it work because you don't want to disappoint whoever introduced you. And it's a bit awkward when it doesn't work because the person that introduced you probably just looked at you as, if it's a friend, yeah, they can't be responsible for what's going to happen. It's really difficult. But typically, I'd rather not be introduced by a friend. Do you know what I mean? I would actually prefer a professional to do it than a friend.
Yeah, my friends used to a long time ago, but now I think I'm very I'm very anti people matchmaking me because I think people used to say I was picky. Maybe I was, I don't know, but I'm very anti people matchmaking me. So before you even go there, I'm like, maybe not, no. But sometimes it's someone who is in another country, and I'm like, it's not gonna work. I don't want to do long distance, so no. Like the last one was, oh, there's this guy, but he's in Nigeria. I'm like, nah,
nope.
I have declared to myself that I am never doing long distance ever again. Yeah. So no, it's not gonna work. Don't even try.
Yeah, well, I guess that's good. And it would lead me on to, I mean, as much as we've heard these terrible stories of people just, as I said, thinking Rasheeda is a girl, single, John is a boy, single, marry or date or talk to each other, you must like each other kind of thing. There are good stories. And actually, I'm starting a side business, Rasheeda's dating service, Rasheeda's matchmaking service. Woo! Can you clap for me, please? Because my success rate is 100%. I can brag about that because I've successfully introduced one couple.
Wait, are they married yet?
I think in 2021, I'm going to be best man and maid of honor.
So how do you know it's successful?
Okay, please, let me say. So this guy, we'll call him John, for instance, my good friend, known him for years, and he had been with this ex, and yeah, did you guys ever watch? Did you ever watch The Good Place?
No.
No.
So in this show, they're not allowed to use bad words. So if you want to call somebody a bitch, you cannot physically say it. You have to call the person a bench. His ex was a bench.
Right.
Okay, no.
Yeah, she was like a terrible girl, but I guess, and funny enough, I always told him that all you need to do is break up with this girl. I'm certain I have friends I can introduce you to. Good, beautiful, professional women that will treat you better and be a better fit. But he just laughed it off. Beginning of the year, his bench of a girlfriend cheated on him and dumped him.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, so she cheated on him, dumped him, and he was broken, but I was just like, well, you'll be fine. I'm sure I have friends, but I was just joking about it. And one day at the start of lockdown in March, I was just talking to him and he was like, look, Rasheeda, look through your friend list. I'm sure you have friends. And I sat down and I was like, wait a minute, I think I do know someone. I told him I'll call him back in a few minutes. Then I just I stopped for a second and I thought about it that, okay, he wanted a professional, he wanted a Christian girl, and he wanted somebody who was close to the family. And I had a friend that was exactly all of those things. I've had several conversations with her and I knew she was a professional. She wanted to date a Christian man and she was very close to her family. And the biggest thing was they both have very similar senses of humor. I get on with them in similar ways. So I decided to do the introduction, but I caveated it, the introduction saying, I'm introducing you as friends. If you get along, all well and good. If not, please don't involve me.
Okay.
And guess what? Today we're in December. Since March, they've gone on 2 holidays. They've been seeing each other every weekend. They've met their families. I think Q1 next year, there's going to be a ring involved. And I'm like, Rasheeda, you're such a genius. But seriously, the good part of this is I didn't just simply introduce 2 single friends. I put some thought and effort into it. I know my matchmaking services are amazing. Thank you. I introduced 2 people based on how well I knew them and understood their personalities, and their goals were kind of aligned. And yes, I'm hoping they do get married, but even if they don't, it wouldn't be because they were just 2 random people brought together. There was a bit of thought that was put into that thing. So in case if you decide you do want a professional matchmaker that's close to home, you can come to me. I know you guys pretty well. I'd have to look through my directory of single men to. In fact, I will start matchmaking you. I'll start matchmaking you without your consent. Sorry.
Wow. No, thank you.
Wow.
If it's a millionaire, then okay.
I was just going to say, I don't mind subscribing, but you need to give me a free trial period. Let me see.
Definitely. You guys will be my my success stories, like so when Oprah starts to interview me, I'll be like, well, the first 2 matches were to my 2 very good friends. So, well, Ribi and the other girl I was talking about, and everyone will be like, oh my God, she's so good. So watch this space, peoples.
Okay.
And I guess this takes me to the next portion, as in the idea, okay, should you pay somebody to matchmake you, or do you want to rely on your aunties and friends that time and time again just introduce you to random people? So there's this nice world of like professional matchmakers and dating coaches. And before this week or last week, I had no idea it was such a big, well, I kind of sort of did, because I watched the Indian matchmaking on Netflix. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Sima Auntie.
Yeah. So this was a series that focused on this matchmaker auntie, Sima auntie in India. So she matchmade couples between India and the US. And Sima auntie was efficient. She had like folders and folders of singles profiles. She interviewed the singles and matched them based on their criteria and preferences. I think she gave 3 matches, if I remember correctly. And she met the families and everyone, just trying to kind of get a feel of who you are. And I guess that's what professional matchmakers do. They'll get to know you, know your personality. They have their own directory of singles, and they just set you up with compatible dates. They even go as far as they'll give you pre-date coaching. Then they'll give you post-date analysis. Like you've gone to an assessment center and you get feedback to help you on your other dates. And of course, as you imagine, this is not free, nor is it cheap. It's in the UK, apparently, you can pay between 1 to 10 grand for professional matchmakers.
Huh?
Yep.
That's a
Did
lot.
you say 10 grand?
I've been
Do you know that 10 grand is in some people's house deposits?
I've been.
Yep.
Wow.
If he's going to be a millionaire,
no.
I guess it's an investment.
Also, some of these professional matchmakers have like a signing on fee, which could be maybe the 1 grand. But if it ends up in a relationship and a marriage, there's something called like a successful union or a completion fee, something along those lines, where you pay like a hefty sum. So I listened to a BBC Sounds podcast. One of the women had a successful union fee. I forget what she called it, of $5,500. So if her match ends up in a marriage, then they pay her $5,500.
That's not bad, actually. So 1 grand to find the person. And when you found the person, you only pay the high sum when you guys are married.
No, 1 grand roughly to register. Then in between, all the matches and dating and coaching and all of those things have fees associated with it.
Oh.
Then at the end of it, if it results in a marriage, then you pay the completion fee.
That's sounding like a lot. If it was just the initial fee, 1 grand, okay, and then the final end fee, when everything is working, I could live with that. I could be on board with that. But all these fees in between, I'm not sure about that.
They give, so like the Sima auntie and the few podcasts I listened to before this episode, they took it on as, when you're like looking for a graduate role where they're guiding you step by step, getting to know you, kind of talking to your family and your friend, getting to know your personality. And these people, they're paid. You pay them for a service, so they're less likely to be gentle with you. In that, if you have like terrible character flaws, that your aunties would be like, "Oh yeah, that's just Rasheeda's way." This lady will not have it. She'll actually call you out on it very, very, very quickly. Whereas, so these are like the professional matchmakers. Then they have the other side who are dating coaches. They are kind of less rigid, less formal. They are like life coaches. They help you be the best version of yourself. They hold your hand through the creation of like your online profile, on how to select your matches when you're going for dates, helping you choose your outfits, just help you build your confidence, just like your own personal hype man or woman. And I guess it was quite interesting. So Crystal, let me point my finger at you. Okay. If you were going to dip your toes back into active dating, would you hire a matchmaker or a dating coach, and why?
I would not hire a matchmaker because I don't like people matchmaking me, but I hire a dating coach because, I love Matthew Hussey. I think Matthew Hussey is a dating coach. I mean, I can't afford him. I can't afford the personal services, but I've been to some of his talks and I've really, really learned a lot, so much from listening to Matthew Hussey. And actually, some of the advice that he has given has changed my life, or changed my views with regards to dating. So definitely 100% I would, if I could afford it, get a dating coach, because
you're in luck. I'm starting a service, so I will be your dating coach.
You're not a dating coach. You said you're a matchmaker.
Okay, I've decided to evolve my business in the last 3 minutes.
Choose one. I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust you.
And I guess, I mean, all of these come at a price. Is at the cost, do they justify the outsourcing of the heavy lifting? Do you think it's a good idea? Does it make dating less or more fun?
Well,
I think it can still be fun, but I don't know how much I would be willing to pay. Like, what's the limit is my question, because I'm not gonna pay £10,000. Like, no way.
What if it guarantees you Idris Elba if you were single?
Why Idris?
I'm not. I am.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You're not
Idris. I'm not an Idris Elba groupie.
I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the Idris Elba groupies. I'm not one of them. Yeah. But yeah, even if it guaranteed me the man of my dreams, 10,000.
Man of your dreams, though. Come on. There has to be a price on that.
I would think about it. Like, what if I mean, I could just walk out the door and meet the man of my dreams. Why should I pay?
Yeah, but this 10,000 is positioning you in a place to find this man. Ribi, let me ask you, because I know you've done a lot of online dating, and of course you have to spend time trawling through crazy and weirdos and time wasters and just general craziness that's out there. Would you pay that fee, and is it justified? What do you think?
It depends on what the fee is, because as you said, I think the average person is on maybe 1 or 2 dating apps, and those things are not cheap. Anyway, you're spending a certain amount every month, and you're locked into like a 1 or 3 month contract. As personally, I think the paid apps are far better. So there is a cost regardless. Now, the thing is, at least I am the one doing the filtering when I'm on the app. I'm the one doing the filtering and the checking, and I know what I like and what I don't like.
But doesn't that get tedious? How about you pay somebody and the person just filters everything for you? And then
that's what I'm getting to.
It
depends on how much it is that I'm being asked to pay to do the filtering, because at the end of the day, you really have to know that the person that's doing that filtering knows you enough to do the right kind of filtering. It really depends. I'd certainly pay a little bit more for somebody to present me with a short list, but I wouldn't go pay an exorbitant amount, because no matter what they say, they can't guarantee you anything.
No, they can. But the thing with professional matchmakers is they get to know you, they know your family, your friends, and they kind of talk to you. So it's not just signing up today and then they find you matches. They kind of more or less try and, for the lack of a better word, date you first.
That's work though, right? So you will still have to fill some kind of questionnaire. You'll still have to do some work. You will still have to speak to certain people. And still, there is no guarantee that they will be able to give you the right shortlist. You will still have to meet a certain number of people. So for me, it boils down to how much are they asking me to pay? Because there is the idea that you won't have to do any work, I don't believe. You will still have to do something.
Why? I think
that's not guaranteed.
And it's not guaranteed.
There's no free lunch.
All of Sima Auntie's clients, none of them got married or actually stayed with the person she made them with. So there you go.
Yeah.
So I would pay a little bit more, but not a whole lot more.
Not a whole lot more. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like the idea of outsourcing the heavy lifting. If I must be honest, I guess that's why I find online dating kind of tedious, because you have to then start looking, swipe left, swipe right, look at weirdos, random guys with shirtless guys, and you're just like, oh my god, if I ever see any picture of a guy on holiday with his friends with a drink in his hand, I'm going to just break my phone.
Can I just then say to anybody who has a perception that online dating is as easy as you put on the app, you put in your profile, and then you meet 10 desirable men, and then you start talking to them, and one of them happens to be the guy. Can I just ask you to wake up from whatever dream that you are having and face reality that what you put in is what you're going to get out?
There's always one though, isn't there? I know that one person that went on, I can't remember, OkCupid, met her husband. The first guy she spoke to became her husband. They're married now and they have 2 kids. I'm like, girl.
That's the story they used to reel you in. That is
No,
the
I
story.
know this person personally. This
I
is not
know.
they told me.
I know,
But she's
but
the
that's-
one out of 100. Well,
That is-
out of
what
a
are the-
million.
What are the odds of that happening every time?
No.
Exactly.
She's one out of a million.
Yeah.
But
And-
there's always that one. That's what I was trying
And
to say.
with online dating, you guys find sometimes you open the app and you get matched with someone and you're like, let me go back and look at my picture because I don't understand why I was matched with this uncle. And it's not me being proud or anything, but like recently I did open match.com this week. Thank you very much.
Well done.
There was this guy, he must have been in his 60s. He just looked like somebody's granddad.
You need help. Ribi, are you on it? You need some help.
Really,
because
I did
don't
put like really
understand.
nice, beautiful pictures, and it was like,
are you sure? I don't
honestly,
think so.
I swear, my pictures are really nice.
Okay,
And she was like,
we will look at your pictures later. The only thing I'm going to say, and we should move on, is that you will have to put in work, because at the end of the day, there are hundreds of thousands of people on the app. And the app is an algorithm that just matches people. There isn't somebody on the other side that is looking at you and understand. It's an algorithm, so it's a numbers game. So you have to manage your expectations. That's all I'm going to say.
At this point,
move us on.
At this point, I'm more open to a professional matchmaker. Just outsource it and like Sima auntie or Lola auntie, do the work for me. Kind of thing.
Lola auntie.
Oh, Auntie Lola. Keysha, how about you? Would you pay a matchmaker, or you just rely on your amazing friends and family to introduce you to H factor
that idea of
immigrants?
That idea of paying somebody $1,000 and then paying,
maybe not $1,000.
I would pay, but I don't think I'd want to fall into that trap of just pay. I'd pay a one-off initial fee and the final bonus fee. I'm not interested in this continuous payment business, but I think I would just, maybe one-off fee to meet 10 applicable people, which you get to pick yourself. That sounds reasonable to me,
The part I don't like is that successful completion fee. As in, I'm just like, then why won't I just decide to be a fraud and be like, oh, matchmaker, sorry, it's not going to work. Then
no, but if you find someone you like, you wouldn't do that though. If you genuinely,
but why should you? Like, as in, I don't know. I don't know. Actually,
man of your dreams.
Oh, Idris Elba. Take my married, please.
And I move on from there.
I know, but like Idris Elba, kind of that chocolatey thing.
Okay. The chocolatey goodness.
I think that thing scrambles my brain.
That's cocoa butter.
Sorry, can I just call on Rasheeda's bullshit for 1 second? Yeah? You're the one that just said that you want the person to know you and good way and everything. Meanwhile, your spec is Idris Elba look-alike.
No. That is an unconscious thing. Once I see a guy that is chocolate colored, my brain just deserts me. Common sense. Once he's cute and that dark thing and he's funny, whether he's a terrible man or not, my brain just like, oh yeah, I love him.
So with Fine Boy, we can sell you like giving sweets to a child. Fine Boy, come on.
Honestly, I think he's a
Fine Boy.
Oh,
rapid fire.
It's time for rapid fire. Oh, it's been fun today, actually, as in...
Time just went.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys can sign up for my matchmaking service later on.
I wouldn't pay you, though. Sorry.
Yeah, it's free of charge anyway. You'll be my GP.
He's a friend. Friends, you don't pay friends. Come on.
Yeah, you'll be my guinea. You can only pay me the successful union fee. Then
you can come for the wedding.
Can we move on to rapid fire, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, the thing today is, if you guys were going to see a professional matchmaker, i.e. me, if you're going to employ my services, and I was asking you about your preferences, I just need one thing each for each category. What would be a must-have and deal breaker? Keysha.
Must have. He must be self-sufficient. That's
Okay.
my must-have. Self-sufficient with broad shoulders.
No, one thing.
All right. And then the deal breaker is, God. Can I say he mustn't be a bum? How do I even translate that into?
But if he's self-sufficient, then he won't be a bum.
Okay, so which means I have to find another deal breaker.
Come on, TikTok. You
Okay,
have
sorry.
10 seconds.
Maybe no odd smells.
Okay. Well, that's why you have links for men.
Like inside, outside, everywhere. No odd smells.
You have links Africa for men or links Tiger. I don't know what the so.
And
That's inside and out. That's mouth, body, everything on the out. No odd smells.
You have Listerine. You have chewing gum. Yeah, oh, that can be solved.
Okay, well, that is a deal breaker. If you reach a certain age and you haven't solved that problem, it's a deal breaker because there's no.
Fair enough. Ribi.
Must have ambition.
Okay.
Deal breaker, as we said earlier on, H factor. And just forget about.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
But wow. Okay. What if it's not constant? What if it just comes up like when you're not?
I have quick fire answered you. Let's move on.
All right. Fair enough. I accept that. Thank you, Ribi. Crystal.
Must be kind.
Okay.
And deal breaker would be if they live in another country. Can't do it.
Okay. Cool.
What about you, Rasheeda?
Okay, for me, must have a job, a visible source of income. Definitely, because for me it feels like if you end up with somebody, as in our lives have to remain on the same level. I cannot, not like I'm making a lot of money anyway, but I cannot end up with someone then my standard of living goes from Tesco to Poundland. which is what I'm at now. I'm enjoying Tesco's finest. Thank you very much. And deal breaker. Okay, so I'm going to cheat and put 2. Actually.
No, you can't cheat and put 2.
I'm the queen of this rapid fire today. I make the rules and
I will mute you.
Diva.
Yeah, I'm a diva. Is
okay. Go on.
H factor, definitely. I cannot deal with. And because my family, my sister, my brother, my parents are terrible. They laugh at people that have H factor. There's this guy that I was talking to someone introduced me to at some point, and he was like, oh, I wanted to buy a trousers. And I'm like, what? So now my mom and dad say stuff like, oh, we want to buy a trousers. We want to buy a pair of belts just because they heard the story. But anyway, that's besides the point. And the second thing is felony. I don't think I'd want to be someone that has a criminal record.
Ooh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But why would you? That's like the basics.
Yeah, but it might have been something they did in their teens or whatever. As in, yes, I get it was a long time ago or whatever, but I think
anyway, one day we will do rapid fire the way we're supposed to do rapid fire.
I know, right? I was going to say rapid fire is boom, boom, done.
I know.
No explanation needed. You don't need to explain.
I feel like you guys are not listening to me today. I decided to bring in my Rasheeda's professional matchmaker dating coach expertise, but I don't think you guys appreciate it. So what can I do?
The audience will appreciate you, I'm sure.
I know. Well. If you decide that the route for professional matchmakers or dating coaches isn't for you, or you have like pesky aunties or friends that are determined to see you married in Q1 of 2021, I feel like always have a list of must-have, nice-to-haves, and deal breakers. Use these aunties and friends as your professional matchmakers. And the best part is they're free of charge. You haven't got the £10,000 fee or successful union fee. arm these aunties and friends with as much information as possible to allow them do quite well what I'd term the heavy lifting, and I guess that would increase the probability of a successful match. This was a tip from my amazing therapist after another session where I spent the whole hour crying about one of the terrible matches that my lovely, in quote, aunties had made on my behalf. And I guess that's what I do now. When anyone wants to matchmake me, I am open to being introduced or match made to people, but I have a list of must-haves, nice-to-haves, and deal breakers. That wraps up today. Whatever you do, stay amazing, have fun, and be true to yourself. If you love our podcast, please show your support by subscribing, rating, and reviewing us on Apple Podcast. Until next time, thank you all. Thank you, ladies, for joining, and speak to everybody soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Talking Single podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. To continue the conversation, be sure to follow us on Instagram with the handle @SingleTalksPodcast. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter with the handle Talking Single. We are downloadable on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and of course share with your family and friends. We'd also love to hear from you, so leave us your comments or questions, and do remember to tag us in any posts with the hashtag #SingleTalks. Take care and see you next week, same time, same place.